Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at marketplace e-commerce. We're going to dive into this specific feature, but we're going to not only cover the feature itself and some of the benefits of this feature, we're also going to take a look at real world examples and some different iterations of this specific scenario for marketplace e-commerce. We're also going to talk a little bit about some of the permutations or iterations that you might see around this feature. And then we're going to wrap up, and if you can stick around till the end of the video, you're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of some complementary resources that we have available to you as it relates to marketplace e-commerce. With that said, let's dive in. Marketplace e-commerce buyer dashboard. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about some of the key aspects of a buyer's dashboard and what they're going to typically need to have in order to make it a seamless user experience for them. Now here you can see an example of a buyer dashboard, and we're really high level. We're providing them with basic information about pending orders, unread messages, pending quotes, and rejected purchase requests. We're also providing promotional information, recommendations to them, and we're giving them notices and giving them a little bit of detail so they can click into these, but they can also see a high level detail first. And we're also providing tips and resources from buying pros. Now, this can be particularly helpful with a marketplace that has more of a request for quote process and possibly variances between the different sellers or the different locations of sellers and that kind of a thing. It can be really helpful for your users, your buyers in particular, to have guidance so they can be a lot more sophisticated about how they interact in the marketplace. Now, the other thing that we want to point out is we're going to want to have a consistency around the top right section. We're constantly following the user around with the little notification icon and access to their dashboard from the top header nav so they can quickly get to the dashboard easily. They also need to be able to see how many items they have pending that they haven't reviewed. And then, of course, we're typically going to want to notify them via different mediums like email, text, etc. Now, once they're in their dashboard and they see these heads up, we also want to make it really easy for them to drill down. And you can see that we're using iconography to the left of text, and this is a very standard practice so that they can see very quickly from a visual perspective what it is that they are looking at on the menu. Now, typically we want them to be able to go to their orders, see a list, and this would be like a list of different areas that they're watching, the products, categories, sellers, that kind of a thing. We want them to be able to go in and look at their messages and then manage their account settings and log out. Now, there are a lot of nuances to this that we're going to go into, some of the important ones. And we just generally want you to see that the buyer dashboard needs to be very intuitive and focused around their orders and what the status is on those orders, their requests for quotes, and notifications, as well as tips and best practices for them as they're navigating and working within the site. Now, one of the things that's pretty unique to this particular platform is a buyer and seller can have a single account. And so a seller can be a buyer too, and vice versa. If this particular buyer was only a buyer, then they wouldn't see this option up top. So that can just make it a little bit less confusing for the user if they're in only one of these two options. Typically, a seller will also be a buyer in a marketplace platform. They're probably going to use the platform to purchase things. But most of the time, a buyer won't be a seller. They're just not going to be selling things. You'll have a lot more buyers than sellers typically. Now, the other thing that we'll want to do, though, is we may want to offer a promotion to allow the buyer to become aware of the fact that they can sell items. We may also want to give them access to certain resources based on where they are in their experience with your marketplace. For example, if they just signed up, we're going to want to have an opinionated interaction with them where we're going ahead and telling them, hey, these are some of the key things that folks who purchase on this marketplace will do. And these are some of the key aspects of the marketplace that you're going to want to be aware of. We may want to include videos and training resources that are very concise and to the point, but maybe much more immersive than reading text and content. The other thing that we found that can be really, really helpful is just little GIF images, little animations that show them quick things, quick tips, maybe a tip of the day or resource of the day, and just dripping on them with valuable information as they go to their dashboard each time. Now, the other thing that we're going to want to do is encourage them to drill into different aspects of their dashboard. And this, again, is something that you can do as you detect with the analytics and tracking whether or not they're engaging and whether or not they've seen some of these areas of the platform. So there's a lot of detail here that you can get into based on your specific industry and your users and what the optimal experience is going to be. We encourage you to take a look at the complementary resources we're about to talk about so you can get into the weeds around some of these different nuances and best practices that we've experienced over the years as well. And thank you very much for watching this particular video. Thanks for watching this video on marketplace e-commerce. In this particular edition, we went into quite a bit of detail. However, we want you to know that we have complementary resources that you can download for free that give you a summary and a cheat sheet on key aspects of marketplace e-commerce. In particular, we go into quite a bit of detail around a checklist. It can be really helpful when upfront planning for a marketplace e-commerce project. We also have go live steps and optimization steps around various different aspects of running the marketplace, making it self-service, setting up the governance rules, optimizing for organic SEO, performance, security tuning, and really the list goes on. We certainly encourage you to take a look at those links in the description. And as always, if you would like to, we encourage you to go to town on that like button. Certainly feel free to subscribe so you can get notifications about additional videos like this. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.